Hello everyone, welcome to the Maple and Blossom podcast. I am one of your hosts, Blossomer as always, and I have my co-host.
Hi everyone, Maple here. So, Blossom, how are things been going with you?
Very good. We're doing lots of fun stuff, so it has
We are.
been neat doing like the extra recordings and stuff like that. So, if you're listening to this and you do not know, like follow us on Instagram and TikToker, and then we have lots of shorts coming out, and we even have them on YouTube Shorts as well. So if you're listening to this on Spotify, maybe go check out other socials for some more content if you enjoy what we are doing. So that has just been lots of fun doing those little things. It's really been like gives me like more energy to like, oh yeah, I want to continue
Yeah,
doing stuff, and so I've been very like excited for it.
and we're really excited too to start getting a bit of engagement with you guys. So, if you guys happen to like and actually comment, we need comments. We want to hear from you. So make sure to go and check out the stuff and comment.
Okay, so I'm going to get right into the anime. So this
Yep.
week's anime is this episode's anime is Life with Ordinary Guy Who Reincarnates into Total Fantasy Knockout. So when I first watched this anime, I thought it was like really bad. But this is only my second time watching it, and the first time I watched it, it's when it came out like years ago, right?
Yep. Yep.
So the second time watching it through, I was like, yeah, this anime is like 4 years old now. But when I rewatch it, I'm like, oh wow, this is like way more entertaining than I remember it being. It's nothing
Yeah.
like really spectacular, but I was like, when I saw it on our list for what we were going to do, I was like, oh, I don't know if I really want to like do that one. But yeah, I actually was pleasantly surprised with the rewatch. So, yeah, if you want, you can jump us into episode one here.
Yep. So for those tuning in, we are carrying on our Isekai month. This has actually been a really fun month, I will say. I've actually been enjoying it quite a bit. A lot of the ones we've been covering have been a lot better than I expected. So this has actually been really good. So,
Without spoiling anything, I'm actually really excited for the next one.
oh,
the, the next one is very funny, but you guys can wait just a few more days for that one.
so episode one starts off. So we see the main characters, and they're walking along. So one of them gets extremely drunk.
Tachibana. Mm.
And decides confessing that they want to become a female, like a drop dead gorgeous female, and get isekai'd. So Jinguji is the other one, and he's kind of there, like mostly consoling his friend. And you start to realize the relationship is more like Jinguji doesn't find himself attracted to any females, even though he's supposed to be the drop dead gorgeous playboy who all the girls want. He chooses none of them. And instead, he focuses all of his attention on his childhood best friend, Tachibana, who's a guy. And he basically has this thing where he's like, I don't really want him to get with any female because I don't want any of them to kind of like take him away. So in a way, he's got like he says how he like kind of sabotages him in any kind of way because they're at like a mixer, I guess, is where they're at. Because it only starts off with them like in a bathroom, realistically, and he ends up getting frustrated and they like leave, and that's when they go walking. And then at this point, this screen kind of pops up, and this like hologram or holographic girl is kind of sitting in there.
This goddess who isekais them, like who ends up like killing Tachibana, right? I literally had, this is one of the most ridiculous ways I've ever seen anyone get isekai'd. Like a goddess just comes through and is like, okay, I'm gonna just kill this guy now. Or like she says like he's dead, right? And then Jinguji is like, no, he's not really. He's just no, he's just like passed out from drinking. And then she's like,
Yeah.
oh no, he's going to die. And then like she basically like kills both of them.
Well, because he's here like firing an arrow, and
Mm.
then the next thing you know is they're just kind of waking up in the new world, essentially.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. So yeah, they both agree when they wake up. First off, uh, Tachibana. I'm gonna just refer to Tachibana as Tachi. And
Yep.
I'm gonna also refer to Jinguji as just Jin, just to make it so much
Yep.
easier. So Tachi got exactly what they wanted and is now just incredibly cute female girl, blonde hair, blue eyes, like petite, right? I think it's very cute where he is still wearing the clothes that he got
Yep.
isekai in, so he's like still wearing his like suit, and it's of course because like of his smaller frame. It's like the sleeves are like hanging off and
Yep.
stuff like that, and it's really cute, like the oversized like short and stuff like that. I like that
Yep.
sort of look. So like when I'm trying to relax, I will just wear like oversized clothes because it's just like I just find it very relaxing even for me. So they agree that apparently they both have to kill the Demon King. Um, but it's also kind of revealed at the same time that they're slowly falling in like love with each other because they like look at each other, they start like blushing where Jin is like, oh my god, she is like so cute, right? And Tachi is like, wow, I didn't realize how like strong and reliable he is, right? And they're just kind of like, and then she's like, oh, you actually, from looking up at him at this point of view, it's like, yeah, he's actually really handsome. And then they're both like, wait, what is going on?
Well, because what happens is, so they go to the new world, and he sees her in her form, and there's a little bit, but he's mostly mad that his friend is now female. So he demands the goddess to show up, which she does, and he starts yelling at her to demanding that he change his friend back to the male form. He's like, I want my guy friend back. I don't want this. I don't want this. So then she gets mad. So the goddess gets mad and curses them. And they realize the curse is the charm spell that she has, where she now, just by a quick look at her, charms people. And that's when they're looking at each other. They start realizing, oh crap, we're actually falling in love. So then that's where they're like, they start rushing off, like, nope, we gotta go kill this demon lord. We gotta go kill it before we fall in love.
So now they are getting in the forest and they're being chased by this weird bunny bear creature thing, and then Jin
Yeah.
just punches it with one punch and just annihilates it. And so yeah, it is also revealed that he is level 70 and Tachi is level 1, which I think is hilarious.
Yep.
But Tachi has luck, right? I think Tachi's luck skill is like pretty high. Or is
She
like,
has extremely high luck
mhm.
skill, and then she has the charm skill.
So we're just gonna call Tachi a she then.
I guess it's how she looks the majority of the form, I
That's
guess. So.
that is fair. Also, very interesting enough, it's revealed that Jin can also just summon a door at the end of like episode 1, and then that's kind of how that one ends. And
Yep.
then episode 2 immediately jumps into them like opening the door, right? And it's the door to Tachibana's apartment though, which I think is hilarious. So like they can just kind of like hide there and relax and just like be by
Yeah.
themselves, right? So I thought that was like
So.
interesting.
So when they go in, they notice that the electricity works, the water works,
Yeah.
and they have like a bed. They have like some of the amenities that are there, but like they don't have cable TV. Like they can't
Hmm.
watch TV. They can't play any of the games. The windows don't open, and it's just completely black, so they can't see like anything outside, like nothing like that. The food in the fridge does not restock, So it's like, so the first night they go in there and they're thinking like, oh great, like yes we got food kind of thing. So they end up eating, and it's hilarious because Jin gets mad at him because he didn't tell him like this is the only food that I actually have. So he's like, why are we eating it all right now? Like,
Well, I
what?
mean, it wasn't even like a lot to begin with. It was like just enough for
No,
each of them, right?
that's just it, right?
Mm.
And it was just like a little kind of serving, and that's pretty much it.
And Jin was like, "Well, what happens if there's like a natural disaster and you can't go out to get food?" And he's like, "Oh well, I never really like I never planned that far ahead."
Yeah, 'cause he's like, well, I don't buy food because he's like, I majority of the time I just go out to eat. And he's like, well, what if this happens? He's like, oh, you figured you'd rescue me or something, like, like it's just so stupid. Like early on,
So the next day, Tachibana is starts wearing his younger sister's clothes,
yeah.
which I thought is hilarious because they go, "Yeah, my sister left these here, so like I'm going to just wear them." I always say like they're actually like cute. I actually kind of like. I do like the outfit though in the
Hmm.
beginning that I guess she was wearing.
That one, the initial one was really good. Before they switched to the other one,
The pinky one, I'd actually
yeah,
also really like the pinky one also.
it's good. I just like the one that he was wearing initially, like she was wearing initially. I just like that one more, than the other one. The pink one was great though, still too. So
Mm.
earlier in the night, they end up seeing some smoke off in the distance to where they think it's like a settlement or a city. So they end up showing up and they see it, and then Tachibana gets extremely excited and goes off running towards the settlement. And then
Being attacked by bandits.
yeah, so they go in to see a bunch of smoke, and again it's being attacked by bandits. So then this is where Jin shows up to basically help, but by the time he showed up to help, all the bandits have fallen in love with Tachi, and have basically asked Tachi to marry them. And
They're
they've,
all asking, yeah, will you marry me? I've never seen anyone so beautiful in my life. Yeah.
I'll go legit. We'll have like 8 children, and
Yeah,
like,
it's like I always wanted like 8 children. I'm like, what the heck? It was hilarious.
and they're just doing this constant like back and forth. So then you got the bandits start fighting each other for the
Over
right to marry
Tachi.
Tachi.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so when Jin shows up, they're all down. Like all the bandits are already like they've already beaten themselves up. Like just
Yeah,
kind of
then
like
Jin is like,
what's
oh,
going on here?
wait, what the heck? He's like, wait, how did you defeat them? And then she's like, I don't know. They just started like just fighting each other. It's funny
So
because
then
she's like revered as a goddess in like the
yeah, because the
town now.
villagers show up. Yeah, they start like
Hmm.
bowing and like you're a god. And it's hilarious because they're sitting there talking, and then at this point, it's where the bandits are like, "Oh, don't worry, the main group they'll notice that we're gone, and then they'll come and annihilate the city." To which Jin basically figures out, "Oh, well, if that's the case, then they're probably close by. Let's just go find them."
Hmm.
So nightfall hits, and they end up finding where the bandit headquarters is. And I love how he's trying to formulate this plan, and he's trying to get Tachi to basically hide. And then Tachi basically says she wants to use her charm skill on them and try to charm them. He gets fired up because of her teasing of him. He just grabs her and launches her
There was
towards
like
the
times
bandits.
too, like throughout like this episode where Tachi will like she did her hair different and then Jin's
Yeah,
like, no, don't do it like that. Like it's like because like now it's like getting to him like how cute is like
yeah,
she's looking,
yeah.
right? So he's like, don't you
And she
dare do
know
that again.
and she notices it and she keeps teasing him about it, right?
Yeah. Cause he
And
got
then
like
it gets
he
to
has like this little charm thing that shows up above his head, right?
yeah.
And she's like, wait, what is that? So it's like it's hilarious.
So he gets mad and he's trying to like get diffuse the situation, get away from the situation. So he ends up just grabbing Tachibana and like hurling her towards the bandits. So she ends up showing up, and she ends up just using her taunt skills again, or her charm skills again, to like charm the bandits. It was freaking hilarious.
It was definitely great. And then it's like funny because like at the end, Jin is thinking about the past, about Tachibana, and like was
Yeah.
like they were wondering and like it showcased like he was thinking about like marriage.
Hmm.
And it's just funny because I do love how like Tachi is teasing Jin like throughout this
Yeah.
episode and stuff like that. But that's for the most part that happened. I think the episode 3 is really hilarious because uh yeah, when they go back to the town, right? The town's like, oh, we're so thankful for you. We're so thankful like you defeated the bandits, and then it's revealed that the bear, like the bunny bear thing that he killed in episode 1, was the forest deity,
Yeah.
and
So
like they just. Mm.
yeah, I was gonna say, so episode 2, basically the ending is the villagers are again praising Tachi, and they end up giving her a massive sum of money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, they
And it's
also
like a
get to
thank
keep
you.
all. They got to keep all the stuff they got from the bandits as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what they did. They were like, "Oh, look at all this massive amounts of money," and he's like, "No, we can't take this." And then it shows that's when Tachi gets her new outfit, um, because he goes shopping a bit. So the ending of episode 2
No,
shows,
I think they're like, if
or
you
she
want to
says
accept
she
the
wants to get
money,
one.
they make her the outfit, I believe.
Yeah, yeah,
The town makes her the outfit. Mm.
yeah. And then it shows the ending is the elf. So it shows an elf princess getting ready, and then she opens her window and she sees the entire forest on fire, and she gets extremely upset. She's like, gotta go see what's going on. Like, what the heck's going on here?" So yeah, and then that's when episode 3 shows up, and Jin is looking at the skinned monster, and he's basically asking like, like, is this pelt something I can sell? And they're like, yeah, I mean, I guess I've never seen one before, so I don't really know. And then the chief just randomly walks up and goes, "Oh, that's a guardian deity of the forest." And then he just turns around and walks away. Literally the only information he says. He just says that and just turns around and walks away.
Well, I think it's funny because Jin goes to wake up Tachibana, and like she just got out of shower, right? So
Yeah.
of course,
Hmm.
she's like blow drying her hair, and she's like, "Wow, who?" It's like takes forever to like blow dry my hair. So now Jin is helping her blow dry the hair,
Yeah.
and this is where like Tachi like really starts really enjoying being a girl. It's like, oh yeah, I really enjoy it. I'm starting to really enjoy this body, and like teases Jin a little bit more. And then you're right to see where the elf comes because they
Yeah.
are mad now that the death of their deity. And Jin just admits that he has no interest in women and that the elves are wasting their time trying to make Jin feel guilty for what they did because that's what they were trying to do. Like, why'd you do that to cute girls and stuff like that? And I thought it was hilarious because the elf keeps like showing up and stuff. Um,
Well,
and
I
it's
like
funny.
I like the opening part because he's like they're in the apartment, and then Jin opens the door. So him and Tachi are standing there. He opens the door, and the elf is just going ballistic, yelling at everyone, trying to figure out who did it. And he just goes,
He just walks away.
he just slowly backs up and closes the door. And he just kind of stands on the inside, like, "Oh no, what did I just do?" It was hilarious. And then she explains as she's demanding for an apology, and he's basically like, "No." He just keeps going, "No." So she says that she's a follower of the goddess of love and beauty, which
Yeah,
is
the goddess
they're
who
the
is a
heroes.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Jin just keeps insulting the goddess, going like, "Oh, you follow that exhibitionist? Why the hell would you follow her?" He's like, he keeps putting the deity down, and then she keeps like, as she's going through, she's like, she takes off her cloak, And then she starts like taking off
So
more of her
undressing.
clothes.
Yeah.
And she's like puffing out her like little chest. She's like, yeah, look at me. Look how beautiful I am. And I laugh because then it's like, let's put it to a test. I'm gonna prove it to you that this girl is not prettier than me. And she gets the villagers to vote on who's more beautiful, her or Tachi. And the
And
villagers choose
everyone goes with
Tachi.
Tachi. Every single one of them.
And then she gets mad and tries to say, "Oh no, you just charmed them.
Yeah,
It's
you
not
cheated.
real.
Yeah, you
You
cheated.
cheated." So she
It's
starts pulling out
ridiculous.
magic arrows from her hair and tries to kill them with magic arrows.
So then she
And
runs away at this point, and then
yeah,
Jin goes to like find them, and then she's like, "Oh, these fools are just chasing us into our territory." Like, so then Jin catches up with them and throws a rock, and the rock cuts off the elf's hair, and now she's just crying because her hair got cut off.
hmm
And Jin was also like shocked too. He's like Jin was like, "Oh wow, yeah, I'm like so strong. Like I gotta like really be careful. I could have actually murdered her. Oops,"
yeah.
like sort of thing. And like yeah, so the elf is just sitting there crying now, and she's like, "I will follow them and get my revenge."
So then it shows them kind of sitting around like a, I don't know, like a fire, a makeshift like eating
Yeah,
area.
they make like a little like camp. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So he basically starts cooking the deity, and he doesn't tell Tachi because Tachi doesn't want to eat that gross stuff until Tachi starts eating it. He's like, "Oh, it's actually really good." And he explains what it is, and then Tachi gets so mad. But then Tachi's like, "Yeah, whatever." And he's like, you know what would actually go good with this? Biru." He goes, just pulling out a drink. He takes like 3 or 4 drinks and gets hammered.
Oh
Just
yeah.
not even finish one beer and
No,
gets
just take sipper. Yeah,
hammered.
just sipping like some beer, and it's just
hmm
absolutely plastered. Yeah.
And then Jin's like, "Oh wait, because of your size and the fact that you've probably actually never drank, because this is actually like a new body." It's like, yeah, it's actually hitting you quite hard. So then he starts telling Tachi to not drink anymore. To which Tachi becomes a complete child and says, "No, you can't tell me what to do." And then starts chugging the beer, and then runs off.
And then
Sorry,
it's
sorry.
attacked by
Take
man-eating plants.
Go in, takes their pants off first because it's hot, and
Mm.
Jin says to do that when it's hot, and then runs off into the woods. Like, and it's funny because at this point, like you said, Tachi gets caught in a plant. So as the plant is holding her upside down, Jin
Oh,
shows up, and because
yeah.
she's no longer wearing pants to hold in the shirt just kind of falls down, almost revealing her chest. And then Jin's like, oh no, I can't be charmed. I can't be charmed at this moment." So he's trying to fight the charm spell because he's trying to get Tachi away from this plant. And then I love it because he starts yelling at Tachi, "Tell tell me something to catch me off guard. Like just tell me something you don't like that like I wouldn't know about." So then Tachi says, "Well, I don't really like bell peppers." Jin gets completely mad, goes ballistic, and punches the monster with one punch, killing it, and then starts yelling at Tachibana for being a child for not liking bell peppers at his age.
Like this whole anime is just absolutely ridiculous.
Yep.
Every single turn, it's just like there's literally like nothing.
Well, the worst part is the elf ends up tracking them down their eating area. It sits down, it's like, "Oh, this food actually smells good,"
The
and then
alpha,
she
and
just
then they
starts
start
eating.
eating it, and they're like, "Oh
Yeah.
yeah, that's the deity. You're just eating your own god."
And then that's when you actually see her get taken away by the same kind of monster because you see that plant thing slither, grab her by the ankle, and like pull her away. And that's basically how episode 3 ends.
in episode 4, they make it to a new town, right? And then so Tachibana has to wear a bag on her head because she's too pretty, and they're like, we have to stop you from being able to charm people. So like, if
Yeah.
they can't see what you look like, then it's like it's the best thing to do. Of course, they do like the classic. Oh, they go to eat food, they go shopping, they go into weapon shop, which is hilarious because Tachi almost uses her charm on Jin to make him buy a weapon, which is right. She then used her charm on the shop owner, and the shop owner like almost falls in love with her. It was like,
I'll
I'll
give you the
divorce my
deed.
wife. I'll give you the deed to the shop. I'll give you whatever you want.
Yeah. It was absolutely hilarious. And what was I gonna say? Yeah, so they like so she tries to charm the shopkeeper, like you said, and then all the villagers start showing up now. So like Jin's looking around, he just sees like a massive amount of like the villagers are like hanging around, and then he like grabs her and throws her into the apartment, like get out of here, while he kind of like works it out. So the shopkeeper tells him about a hairpiece that basically directs eyes away from Tachi, so they won't actually like people won't directly look at her. But if she stands out or if she talks to them, then they'll look at her and be charmed. But if she's just walking through the city, it's a way to kind of protect her. So he asks how much it is, and he's like, it's 300 gold. And Jin's like, I don't really want to buy that. That's way too much. But then when he turns and sees all the villagers like harassing her like around, he's like, okay, throws her in the apartment. He's like, okay, I'll buy it. He basically's like, no, I'll take it
Yeah,
because we
because they
don't
basically
really
use
want
like
that.
all the money that they just got,
Yeah,
right? They're like, oh well, they had to basically use all of it for that.
yeah. Well, the
So
majority of it, he says, yeah,
I like how now they change Tachi's name to Audra because they're like, well, I don't really want to call like we can't just use that name because it's like a guy name, so like we're just gonna give you like this other name, right? Which
yeah.
I thought was hilarious. And then the new character shows up and it is a ripoff. It is like Temu.com Kirito. Like it is like the most like
Yeah.
it literally looks just like Kirito from Sword Art Online. It's like literally a copy paste. It's like the
Yeah.
same character. His name is Schwartz. I'm not saying the full name because it was way too long and I didn't want to type it out or say it. But his name is ridiculously long, and they even make note of it where like Tachi is like, yeah, I'm not gonna call you that. I'm just gonna call you
No.
Schwartz. This is easier.
Yeah. Yeah. So like as they're walking, Jin can say that he can feel the bloodlust of somebody following them. So it's like I know somebody's following us. So he calls out, and it turns out to be the bandits from before that they beat up from the earlier episode. And they're like, "Oh, we come for our revenge." So they try to attack, and that's when Schwartz shows up and
It's
kind of
like
like
he
bashes
slices the
them.
building, right?
Well, he bashes them, so the bandits, he hits them into the ground, and then he explains how he looks at the two of them. He's like, "Oh, if you're in a suit, you must be like somebody isekai'd like me," because he was isekai'd, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he's like, "Are you guys heroes too?" And he says he was summoned as a hero of the goddess of night.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
And
I
then
love the goddess of night. She's the best. She's like
yeah,
my
so
like.
then
She's just like me. Like, oh, she wants to do sleep. It's great.
yeah, so Schwartz gets charmed by, or he thinks he's gonna be charmed like a little bit by Tachi, but I think he's got like a protection against it. Um, so he ends up basically he asks like, "Are you two a couple?" They say, "Oh yeah, yeah." Tachibana's like, "Yeah, we are. Yeah, yeah, we're a couple." And he's like, he basically knows they're lying. So Schwartz ends up calling
Doesn't
Jin.
Jin say no and then Tachi say yes and then
Yeah, yeah,
they're like, oh, okay, so he thinks like father daughter.
yes. So he thinks that Jin
Calling
is her
her
father.
Otosan. Otosan.
yeah, he's like, I want you to battle me so that I can prove to you that I can protect her and that she can like come it's okay for her to come with me. So he starts like trying to attack them and he's like, "You know what? I got to get serious." And he actually takes out his sword for the first time because he normally just fights with the guard on. So he takes it off and he swings it once and it does like this like sense of like this firing shot of air and which he Jin dodges and ends up going past them and slices the building in half, like the upper part of the building.
It was like sliced the upper part of 4 building. It's just
Yeah,
not just it's like four, like a whole row of building just gets
yeah.
cut.
And then this is where the guards show up and they completely arrest him because they don't believe he's a hero.
Mm-hmm. And so at the end, by the end of the episode, it's revealed that Tachi has like the mark of the goddess on the nape of her neck, right? So that's
Yeah.
kind of it's like whoa, that's really interesting. So episode 5 starts where they fight a knight. They have to like help fight like this Iron Knight like thing. And
Yeah,
this battle was hilarious.
they don't think it's somebody inside controlling it. They think it's like a magical armor.
Mm-hmm. Because
That's
it keeps like
controls
it just
itself.
wants to go around and just like eat magical items and stuff, right?
Yeah, well, they said like all the people. So the way they explain it is all the people who've gone to try to fight it have just come back naked. So, so they basically say that it basically has just been eating the clothes and items from the people who go to fight it. So they're going through it and it shows them riding on a cart. So they're riding a cart towards the battle.
Hmm.
And then the monster shows up and basically like swings the axe and cuts the cart in half. So then they rush off to start to attack the monster. So Schwartz runs off and does this attack that does basically nothing to it. And the monster just like goes immediately behind him, rips all of his clothes off, and just starts eating it.
Like all fighting, right? They were all fighting. They also like someone else was there. I forgot the girl's name, but like
They
it's
call her the investigator. They call her
Yeah,
the
the-
investigator at this point because they don't know her name.
they don't even know she's a girl, right? So it's
I
just
know.
hilarious because like now during this fight, everyone's clothes is just getting ripped off. It's just
Well,
what is
she
going
rushes
on?
up next. So she rushes up next because Schwartz's weapon gets eaten. So she rushes off to attack. And then
Again, it's just more ridiculousness. Like just
The
everything
monster
about
ends up-
it's ridiculous.
the monster just rips her top off. So now she's like holding her breast. And then this is where Jin's looking down and sees her chest. He's like, "Oh wait, this is actually a girl." And then Tachi's like, "This is a girl." Like, whoa, we thought you were a guy. So they just like, so Tachi ends up taking her top off and gives it to the girl and like drapes it over her.
Oh,
So now she's like in like this like nightgown dress, and Jin is trying to like hide away from this because he's trying to like he doesn't want to see her like that.
I'm sorry, I can't stop laughing.
So
Wait,
it's so ridiculous.
because they start talking about like the boyfriend shirt, right? Like, oh, I can't give you that because you just look too cute in it. And then they talk about like a bodyguard outfit and like other
Yep.
maid outfit. I'm like, well, what is going on? Like, why are
She
they
keeps
just
trying to
thinking
like get
about
her
this?
to picture. Yeah, she keeps trying to get her to picture and all these things. So while she's doing this, the monster is trying to attack Jin and doing all these different attacks. To which he just is like either batting stuff away with one hand, or he's just dodging it. Because now he's angry, he's trying to like explain to Tachi that how much he doesn't like her and he doesn't want to see her those things. And he keeps like trying to like go all these things. And it's hilarious because he's doing stuff like he's not like no realizing he's doing this. So the monster's like trying to hit him with like an ultimate attack. And she's like really going at him again, to get him picturing her in these outfits, and he's like, I can't take this anymore. I
Oh,
can't think of it anymore. He jumps up and like grabs the robot by the face and just like slams it into the ground.
it explodes. It explodes.
And then you hear like a sound like a whoosh, like and like the doors opening, and this child, it's like this little woman crawls out.
Her name is Vizd. Vizd?
Yeah. So they end up arresting her and taking her to the grounds. And then the investigator keeps like trying to like interrogate her, but like slapping her around and like all these different things to get her to talk. And then she basically like kicks everybody out, so she can continue interrogation by like shocking her and stuff. So then we just see her; she's sitting in the cell, and then her comrade shows up. He's like, "Oh, how can you get like captured like this?" Basically, and then she ends up rescuing her, like pulling her away. And then it basically the episode ends with Schwartz being shown the house. So Jin shows him the skill and about the apartment and that. And then they look at Schwartz's list and they see this weird summoning thing, so he does it. And then you just see this like purple smoke start to form in the sky. And then that's where it ends.
Also, Tachi tells Swords that he is a guy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Also.
There's actually a guy.
So, episode 6 begins with Swords accidentally summoning the god of sleep, right? And I love this girl. This girl's hilarious, right? And it's revealed that Tachi is the goddess of love, right? And also, Tachi stirs up different feelings for each person, um, that makes them fall in love. Like, there's a reason why
Yeah.
people want to, like, for each person falling in love with Tachi, they have their own motives and their own reasons for falling in love. So it's kind of
Yeah.
interesting to make note that, like, oh yeah, people are falling in love with her for like different reasons and stuff like that.
Well, yeah, because like what ends up happening is the Lord of the land basically rushes over to her and
Mm-hmm.
starts like proposing. Like with my knowledge and your influence, like we could take over this area economically. Like we could easily take over this place. And begs her to marry him. And then Jin basically discovers about the drive behind each motive, right? And he thinks
Mm-hmm.
back to everyone who falls in love and how each motive was different. But my favorite part at the beginning, so the goddess is talking to her hero, and she's basically saying how like, oh, and it's odd that the goddess of love summoned two heroes. So that's actually odd because like
Mm-hmm.
normally we can only summon one, right? And then she mentions how she gave Schwartz the sword. It's the most powerful sword, and I gave him this most powerful ability to help him on his quest, and it's like so great. And then Tachibana is basically now pouting and mad, going, where's my weapon? What the heck? Like, where's my weapon? Why didn't I get a weapon? And then
Yeah.
that's when they think about it, and they're like, oh, wait. Jin's like, wait, I'm actually your weapon. I think I'm actually your weapon.
Yeah, that's exactly it, type.
Yeah. So they explain that, oh, that's why I'm so much stronger than you. That's why I'm so much, whatever, is because I'm actually your weapon. And it was hilarious because he teases her. He teases Tachi because he's now like, oh, so if she picked me as your weapon, that must be because you thought of me as this really strong, tough, like person, like somebody like you actually thought I could be a weapon, kind of thing, right? And the Tachi's now all flustered, going, "No, no, that's not what it was. No, that's not what it was. No, that's not it." So the Lord, after being shocked by the investigator for asking Tachi to bury him, he basically asks the heroes, like, I want you to stay and kind of help develop the city. And he's like, I'll offer you land, houses, money, food. Like, I'll offer you kind of like everything, right? And it was hilarious because Schwartz is immediately like, yes, I'll take that deal. I don't have to worry about a place to sleep or food. Yeah, this is great. And then it gets to Tachi, and he's like, yeah, I'll give you 3 square meals and a nap every day. All you have to be is a public figure. And she's like, yes, I'll accept that deal. And then Jin is like,
That
wait.
sounds terrible.
He's like,
Exactly.
wait. He's like, you don't even know. He never said it was gonna be free. He never said you had to do nothing. It's like, so no, he's probably gonna work you into the ground. He's like, he's gonna use you as like an entertainer. He's like, you're gonna have to entertain people and all these things. And he's like, and once the information gets out about you, he's like, there's gonna be endless amounts of people who's gonna come for entertainment or to basically try to kill you. And this is a part where it really kind of highlights, especially early on, the laziness of Tachi. She's like, no, if somebody comes to hurt me or anything, if it gets too dangerous, like, you'll just deal with them. Like, you're my weapon, you'll deal with them. She's like, I don't want to walk the mountains, I don't want to walk anymore.
So they start moving on towards the capital,
Yeah.
and so they make it to the next town, and immediately, this is towards the ending of the episode, and Tachi is getting now kidnapped, like immediately by some squid salesman. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, well, as they're walking, they notice something's up in the area a little bit because they see like this cart that's like has like a cloak around it or like cloth
Mm-hmm.
around it, and it kind of like blows open a little bit. And when they look, they actually see the elf
The elf girl.
in a
Mm-hmm.
cage. She's down in a cage and she's like begging them for help. And they just gotta stand there and watch her. She's like carted off. So when they go through it, yeah, they're kind of like wandering around, and Tachi is kind of mad at him about something. Can't remember what Tachi was mad. Oh, that's what it was. They were inside the apartment, and she was reading her elementary school book,
That's right. That's right.
and Jin scribbled over it to try to hide a part, and then Tachi got mad. So they're walking through the city, and Tachi's like, "I'm not talking to you. You're grounded. Like, I'm not talking to you." So he goes to get food. So he's eating squid, and while he goes to get food, Tachi just leaves. Like Tachi goes missing, and he thinks that Tachi is just being mischievous and basically like, oh, they just don't want to talk to me. They're just running off to be a child. So it's like, fine, screw that. I'm just gonna keep eating this because I don't because I know that's what it is, right? So as he's eating, he starts getting thoughts in his head, and he's like, "Wait a minute, we did see that cart with, the elf in it. Like, what if there's actually people who are kidnappers? Like, what if there's actually people who like steal people for money?" So he's like, "Okay, I better go off and actually go look, because maybe she did get taken." Um, and then that's when he ends up seeing a cart, the cart. He goes to investigate it, and he just smashes the cart. Like, just immediately just destroys the cart looking. And then the guy who owns the cart shows up. He's like, wait, like, what's going on? What happened? And then he explains who he's looking for. And he's like, oh yeah, well, I just sold the elf to be sacrificed to the squid god.
So it's funny because episode 7 starts, and now Tachi and the elf are like both trapped in the same room, and now the elf is challenging Tachi again to beauty contest to see who's going to get sacrificed to the squid.
Because it's all based on beauty, right? So
Mhm.
she's sitting there, and we discover her name is Premier, and she's talking to the squid guy, and he basically is explaining like, oh, like our god likes, small, petite women. They have to be so beautiful, their eyes, their lips, their he's explaining everything, and then you can see her demeanor's changing from like sad and mad to like immediately like, oh yeah, like her ego is completely stoked at this point. And then he says, oh yeah, so that's what we're gonna sacrifice and kill them. And then she's like, well, I mean, if it was because of beauty, then that's okay. She's like, immediately, like, going along with it. Like, it's nothing. Like, just because of this. So then Tachibana shows up and is thrown down and is in, like, a bag. And then you got the guy in the back who's dressed in this white outfit with, like, a squid head. It's like this cloak. And he's like, oh, trust me, this girl is good. He's like, well, I already spent like a lot of money on the elf. He's like, just wait. He takes the thing off, the guy who's in charge of like the sacrificing immediately falls in love with Tachibana. Is like, marry me, and then Premier gets like extremely mad and it's like, no, that's it. No, I want a challenge. No, she's charmed you guys. I want the villagers to choose. It starts like trying to like immediately go into like you say the beauty contest.
Which they don't have any of that, and they just kind of
No.
take Tachi, and then the elf like runs into Jin. And so the elf and Jin are now like eating at this restaurant, and they're eating this squiddo, and the squiddos look so disgusting. I'm like, oh my god, that looks so gross. Like when I was
It
looking
is.
at it, I'm like,
It's
oh
got a
my
mouth
god.
and like the teeth are chattering and talking, and I'm
Yeah,
like,
it is
no,
so
no,
so
thank you.
gross.
Yeah,
I love this because now they're making a plan to murder the squid, and so Jin uses the elf as bait.
yeah. So that was his plan. She had no idea what the plan was. He, like grabs her, throws her in, and the guy's like, wait, so he's walking with the trader now. So the guy who was in the cart, and he's like, oh, do you think maybe you threw her too far? Huh? Oh no, I actually meant to throw her farther. This actually ended up short. It's like, I wonder why. So then you end up seeing him. So the god ends up appearing, and he's trying to like pull the god out initially, but he can't. He's having a hard time, and he's like, "Wait, what's happening to my power? Like, what's going on?" Kind of thing, right? And then at this moment, you hear this like giant mob of yelling people behind him, and he turns and he sees Tachibana trying to climb this squid statue. And there's like a whole pile of villagers circled around. You have the guys that are chanting "Marry me," and the girls are all mad and yelling at her like, "You stole our husband, you witch! You stole our husband!" And they're all like mad at her for stealing their husband. So now we notice Jin's now noticing. Oh, now that he sees Tachi, he just like one-handedly like slightly pulls the squid, and the squid just goes flying out of the water and ends up getting impaled on the statue.
The squid.
Yeah.
The squid all starts like talking too, right? The squid is just like,
Yeah.
no, I just want to eat like beautiful like human sacrifice, and it's just like just talking. It's just really creepy. And then the elf girl was like, no, it should have been me that got eaten, right? Because like Tachi's like also like because while the squid is being impaled, right? It just like grabs Tachi and like trying to eat Tachi, and like now Tachi is like screaming like for help for Jin and stuff like that. And so they killed the squid when Jin throws a knife to the elf and then lights it on fire. So like they just completely burn the squid essentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then Tachi is also like bad mouthing the town, right? Because like, why are you just taking out? Isn't it like terrible for you guys to take outsiders as ritual for sacrifice and stuff like that? So I thought it was funny because like at the end of the episode here, the elf is voted to become the next town's leader.
I know. And then you see her like being chased around, and they're all like, "Leader, where are you going? Stop running away, leader!" Like try to like get her. And at this point, you see the demon lord disciples are now sitting up watching everything, and they're like, "Oh, that plan didn't actually work. Like, oh, I guess we gotta come up with a new plan because, that one didn't quite work out." And then that's
So
where that one ends.
so
And episode
episode
8
oh
starts.
sorry yeah so we learned that the shady traveler is named Shen. And so they're cooking like rabbit stew, which like Tachi's just like kind of a little bit against. Like it's like so cute rabbits, right? But like we have to
Yeah,
like cook it to eat it, and but the second one like Tachi is like realizing like how reliable like Jin is. Like yeah, Jin is like really working hard, killing animals and stuff. Like so we have food to eat, and he's cooking all this
yeah,
food and stuff like that. So this is kind of where you see a little bit of Tachi falling in love a little bit with like how like reliable Jin is and stuff like that.
yeah.
So Jin kind of gets a little bit poisoned by Shin here. And like they tried to are battling, right? And because Jin starts feeling weird because of the stew, because Shen made it. And now Tachi is feeling guilty. And with Jin unable to battle, Tachi like tries using her charm, but it really doesn't work against Shen.
No.
And it is hilarious because um they make Jin choose on who's better looking, because it is really funny because uh Jin, I forgot how they got into this situation where Shen
So
and Tachi are trying to be like, oh, I look better like for Jin.
yeah, so essentially what happens, so he makes the stew, they eat, and Tachi basically goes, "Oh, I'm gonna go into the apartment because I'm my stomach, like I gotta go to the bathroom, basically." So
Hmm.
Tachi leaves and goes into the apartment. So as soon as it's alone, he's basically like in this weird way, like following around Jin to a certain extent, like eyeballing him and stuff. Jin
Hmm.
is basically looking at Shen's stats and sees his list of skills. And how it happens is he starts to realize like a lot of his skills are like assassination, intelligence, tracking. Like he's like there's stuff that's not meant for somebody who should be a traveling merchant, because he's like most of the townspeople have skills that are based on whatever their job is. So if you're like a blacksmith, you'd have blacksmithing, hammering skills and, crafting and, all these different things, right? And his were completely opposite. So he was a little bit suspicious of him and started calling him out. Like, why did you want us to take you with us? Why are you following us? Like, why are you coming along with us? Like, what is your intention? So Jin thinks he's after Tachi, and he starts to feel a little bit woozy. He starts to feel it, like a weakened sense, like starting to get a little lightheaded, and he starts to feel it. And he's like, "You poisoned my stew." And he starts to realize his body's getting hot, like his temperature's getting hotter. So that's when he takes his shirt off. Oh, I'm getting hot, so it's okay to take my shirt off. So that's when Shin's like sees him. He's like, "Oh yeah, you're cut too, like great." And then he takes his shirt off, and then they start battling until basically Jin can barely stand up, and then that's when Tachi comes out and sees the two of them, and then this is where Jin's like, "Run away, run away! He's after you! Like you gotta run away!" And then as he's going through, basically he's like, "Oh, I'm not after her. I don't want her in the slightest." And it's like, "I don't want her." And he's like, "Wait, does that mean you?" And then yeah, that's when they start getting into this like, oh, he doesn't like your little body. He likes the body of a man. He starts like posing, and he's like, no, he doesn't like. He likes this. And they start getting into. He's like, wait, so you poison his? And then so they go through this like contest, like you say, this weird contest where they're like, okay, whose body do you prefer? Which one do you find more attractive? Because what happened is yeah, that's what happened. So Jin was looking at Tachibana. It was trying not to get charmed in his weakened state. So he kept looking over at Shen's body to try to get rid of the charm, to like get rid of that. So that's when Shen thought that he was more attracted to his body than Tachi's, because he kept looking at him over her. So they started getting into that petty fight about whose body was better and who was more
So,
attractive.
like, long story short, the whole thing was just because Shen wanted to give Jin massage. That's really the all this
That's
boils
all it
down
was.
to. That's literally all it was.
It was like, you're extremely fatigued. So he's like, the poison I put in yours was supposed to really affect you, the more fatigued you are. So he's like, the fact that it's affecting you like this means you were extremely tired. He's like, and I could feel it. Like, you're all knotted up, like I can feel it, right? And it was hilarious because Tachi's like, wait, did you put that in mine too? He's like, no, I put a laxative in yours so you can
So
go away.
so they reach Ishirane, the capital.
Yeah,
And this in this capital they worship the god of beauty. Again,
yeah,
and they are both asked to wear the royal garb.
yeah. So they end up going. So they ask Shen because Shen leads them in. They ask, "Is there like a temple or a shrine?" He says, "Oh yeah, over there. That's the one for the goddess of love and beauty." So when they go there, the girl who's in charge of it greets them immediately and thinks they're trying to be followers. So she immediately pulls him in. It's like, "Oh, you can just temporarily view it to see if you really like it." And then, like you say, she takes him to the changing room and gives him like this micro bikini and a thong for him. Like, yeah, go put these on. So she
So,
points out they go to a changing room. So Tachi switches to it immediately. And then you see Jin go, "Hey, Tachi, are you done? Like, are you ready?" So he comes out and he's just wearing his suit. So she looks at him. She's like, "What the hell is this?" And she's like in like the micro bikini. And she's like, "You just wanted to see me. You just wanted to see me like this." He's like,
he's like,
"No,
I'm wearing it. It's just under my clothes. She
yeah,
never said that we had to like only be wearing that.
yeah." So then she comes in. She's like, "Oh no, no." She's like, "Are you wearing it?" He's like, "Yeah, under this." She's like, "Oh, okay. Since you're just viewing today and you're not actually pledging to join, that's okay." And then she's like, Tachi's like, I don't have a cover. And she's like, "Oh, here, you could just wear mine." So she just strips down into her own fucking, like her own bikini. So she's wearing her own bikini and she like strips right down. And then she ends up giving her theirs. So as they're walking into the area, Jin has this like extreme fantasy of what it's going to be like. And he thinks it's just going to be like this like nightclub pool area with all these hot bodied people that are just all in these bathing suits and do like this orgy stuff. And then Tachi's like, "No, there's no way that's what it is. There's no way that that's gonna be like that. You got quite the imagination." He's like, "Yeah, okay, maybe." She's like, "Okay, so this is the worshiping area." So she opens the door, and it's exactly how he pictured it.
Yeah, it is a pool party. Yep.
Yeah, and then of course he gets mad. He's all like, "I want to smash everything in here now."
Well, also they the girl realizes that oh my gosh, Tochi has like the mark of the
The
goddess on
marking.
her neck, and then
Yeah,
they were thinking like no one's really allowed to have that. Like, why do you have that? Like, are you trying to like be a faker or something like that? Like trying to like
yeah,
get something with that? So now all of these believers are like coming to attack, and they're wearing like nothing. They're like wearing
yeah.
no clothes. So Jin is like fighting all fighting them all off. And then another girl comes. Her name is Moria. She comes and explains that no, they were actually sent by the actual goddess. Like what you're doing is actually like really wrong, and that's kind of where the episode ends.
Yeah, she's like, this is a royal decree. You can't touch them. Like this is
Mm-hmm.
actually real. You can't do anything." So episode 9 starts with them being led through the castle because now they have a meeting with the king, and Shen just shows up under the floor,
Oh yeah.
and basically it's like, "Oh yeah, this is actually my boss. You haven't told him your name," and then she says what her name is, and she actually says she's in charge of intelligence for the kingdom. Um, and they end up going to meet the king.
Start singing about the prophecy.
They start asking about the prophecy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, you guys don't even know this. Like, hold on." He's like, "Give me a liar," and he starts singing it. Oh, this song was so ridiculous. He's like, he's like reading what the goddess of love had left as a message, and it just reads like a letter. Like he's like, "Yeah," she said. And he's like singing like, she said," and he's like, "Yeah, when they show up, totes look after them. Okay, bye." And it's like all this stupid like nonsense. And I laugh as they're like being walked away. They're like, "Oh yeah, he's actually a good singer. Oh yeah, he was a great singer." And I'm like, uh, "What?"
So, because now as they are now regarded as the dance heroes, they decided to throw like a
A
real
banquet.
party this time, like a banquet, like an actual
Yeah.
party. And Jin is keeping Tachi away from drinking alcohol too. And like again, so Tachi is just like frustrated, like, uh, you treated me like a child, and like runs away. And then so Tachi runs into a girl, and they are asking, and she's asking her how to deal with her feelings. Um, for Jin, basically, which is causing her like a lot of problems and
Well, she's trying to
distress.
distract it. So she sees this
Mm.
beautiful girl who's trying to jump. She's trying to jump out of the window.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, I gotta think of a way to try to distract her. Like I don't. So she like rushes over and grabs the girl and trying to pull her in. And she's like, oh, I gotta think of something. I gotta think of something. Like I gotta distract her before something happens. And then that's when she shouted out, I need advice. I need advice. And she's just basically explaining the whole situation with Jin, like their whole basically everything leading up to now.
So it's revealed kind of here that Tachi just hasn't been praised by Jin. Like Tachi is
Yeah,
getting like this praise and admiration from like everyone else, but she really wants to hear the stuff from Jin, and this is
yeah.
kind of what she's yearning for. And this is like a big blame that they like. I blame this on the curse for wanting this, but it's almost kind of revealed that like later on it's revealed like no, this is kind of what Tachi has always wanted, was
Yeah.
acknowledgement from Jin, because Jin has always just been like this, always very like popular and always very important and stuff like that, and no one really ever cared too much about
Well, because
Tachi and stuff.
he's always good looking. He's good at
Mm-hmm.
everything. He's good at anything he tries. Like he can do anything. So he's like he just feels he's constantly getting praised by everyone, no matter where they go for everything. Um, and it's just his pure jealousy at that, right? Is what is going through. So as she's leaving, because the girl's basically like, "Oh, thanks for distracting me," and she kind of like runs away. It's discovered she's actually the princess of the kingdom, and
So after they, yeah, you're right. So they meet up with the king again, and then they reveal Tachi's like, oh my god, that's like the princess though.
well, she
And
barges
then,
in. So what happens
mm,
is she barges in on them while they're having tea,
all right.
and she barges
Mm-hmm.
in on them, and she's like, "Oh, I'm actually the princess," and she's like, "I wanted to apologize because I didn't actually know I was talking to the hero. Like
Mm-hmm.
I didn't actually know you were the hero, and like the way I was talking to you, it's not right. So I wanted to apologize."
And then she's like, oh
And
yeah, let me join you. I want to go and fight the demon lord, right?
yeah, so
And
Jin is
then,
like completely against it, and is like, "No, you can't go." And then she immediately snaps and gives him this look like, "Who are you? You ain't gonna tell me this." And she starts like talking down to him. It's the most hilarious thing, the way she goes off on him and the look on her face.
and the king also is like disagree too, of course. So
Yeah.
this is where at the end, the princess and Tachi, they're like, okay, let's go and make a rebellion. Let's go and get like our own like followers and
Well,
like.
Tachi goes. He's like, goes to check on the princess. So Tachi's fear is that the princess is going to try to do something again. Like if
Mm-hmm,
I actually go and not take her with me, she'll actually like do something, right?
mm-hmm.
So she explains, she's like, "Oh, he's always been like this. Like ever since mother died at a young age, he's just been extremely overprotective. So he won't let me do anything. He's like, she's like, I've never really been out. I've never really had friends. I've never really left, the city. I've never really done these things, and I've always really wanted to go and see things. I wanted to do stuff. So the Tachibana was like, "Oh, I'll help you with anything." Like Tachibana is basically falling in love with the princess.
Oh,
So it's basically like, "I'll help you with anything." Like blurts it out, like, "I'll help you with anything, anything you wish." So then Ingrid, who's the thing, basically is like, you see her standing on a platform, and she's now yelling at her townspeople that we're gonna overthrow the king, and then you just basically see Tachibana's like, wait, what? Has no freaking idea what was going on. And then the king ends up yelling about it to Moria, It's like you're in charge of intelligence. You go rescue her, go get her, go capture her. I'm leaving it up to you. And then Shen comes by. It's like, oh no, she was actually captured like right away. She's actually being held hostage now.
So episode 10 begins with the princess and Tachi using their charm to grow their army. And
Yeah,
I thought it was hilarious because like Tachi is like wearing an idol outfit and Tachi's like, this is so degrading, like the draft, right? Because the short skirt though.
yeah. Well, I laughed because it's like as she's going up, you guys hear the guys in the crowd who are like, "I'll never follow her. I'll never follow her," talking about the princess, right? I only follow high quality, beautiful girls that do this, and she does it right away. Like, won't you follow me? He's like, oh yes. He like falls in love immediately, and then the next guy's like, you won't get me so easily. I only fall in love with girls who could do this, and then she does it. She's like, follow me. And he's like, oh no. And he gets captured away. And then the next guy's like, no, no, I only fall for really cute girls who have an awkward smile, who's kind of sad. He's like going through, he's like naming specific things. He's like, I doubt you could do all three of those. And then this where she's like, okay, hero. And then that's when Tachi shows up. And he's like, he's all like shy because of this, like you said, the story. Like, would you guys help me? And then he immediately, like, you see this, like, fart crater form around him. He's, like, dug in this, like, heart hole. He's, like, completely dead. And they're like, oh, yeah, they all just joined this rebellion now. So stupid.
So the head maid now is giving Tachi a massage, right? Because Tachi's like, I can't do this anymore. I have to go and change and like relax and get out of here for a second. Because everywhere Tachi goes, like he just keeps attracting people like everywhere. So Tachi's like, I have to just get like I have to like hide for a little bit. So the head maid is giving Tachi massage and kind of funneling Tachi with like negative energy, right?
Yeah,
And like brainwashing Tachi, right? Telling him that
yeah,
everything that's happened is the goddess's fault and stuff like this.
yeah,
So then Tachi starts feeling like he has been jealous of Jin, which is what we referred to a little bit earlier, right?
yeah.
And then so Schwartz shows up right now. This is like a different scene where Schwartz shows up and he is asked to stop the rebellion. And the ending, like the way he stops the rebellion, is just the most utterly ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. Because he's like, I've never really used the sword's like true power.
Well, so what ended up happening is the investigator is with him,
Mm-hmm.
and he wants to just kind of talk with the protesters. He's basically saying, I'm just here to talk with the rioters. And she's like, well, they're criminals. You can't talk with criminals. You'll have to just like beat them up. And she's like, you can't use just the end of your like you can't use your sword with a cap. Like you actually have to use it. And she's the one who suggests that the ability is like just think what you want to cut and swing. Like just think what you want to do and just do it. Like don't that I think that's how the power works. So then he's like, oh okay, so he tries it. And he's like, "What do I think about?" She's like, "I don't know. Think of it yourself," kind of thing. Like, you just do it. Go. You're the hero. So he ends up like swinging the sword, and then the enemy's like running at him, and then you just see their clothes and their weapons just immediately just disintegrate. Like he just murders all of it. So now the townspeople are just standing there naked, and they have complete like amnesia. They're like, wait, what's going on?
Where
Like,
are
why
we?
am I
What are we
here?
doing? Let's
Wait,
just
why
go
am I
home.
naked?
Let's just go
Why am I
home.
naked? And they're like, oh, okay, we'll just go home. They just leave.
Oh.
It's so freaking hilarious, like the way they did that.
The more I think about this, the more I want to like raise the score that I have because like if you don't take anything that happens seriously throughout this entire anime, this anime is absolutely hit like one of the funniest animes I've seen in like a
Oh
long
yeah,
time. It is
yeah.
so ridiculous. Everything is ridiculous, over the top, and hilarious, and you should take none of it seriously because the whole anime is a joke, and that's what they thrive off of, and it's great. like it's funny how like the only serious parts are episode 11 and 12, which we're about to get into, but like the first 10 episodes are just completely joke and it's
Oh,
hilarious.
100%.
Just so hilarious.
So episode 11 starts with the maid who's drinking tea, and then in like a barrel, the evil lord assassin, like the evil lord like assistant shows up, and she kind of like pops her head up, and she's having like a conversation about like what just happened,
This is
and she's like,
Vizdo, right? Vizdo?
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
So she's like, yeah, she's like basically like, um, yeah, our plan I think has gone downhill. Like, what's our next step, kind of thing. And she's like, oh, nothing indicates anything went bad. And then this guard shows up. And he's like, yeah, all the forces that stormed the capital, we've lost contact with them. And she's like, wait, does that mean they were all annihilated? Like, did they all like die? He's like, oh no, they just went back to their normal lives. So they're now plowing the fields naked. So then the mate's like, okay, it's time to go with a different strategy. And the girl in the box is like, wait, you have other strategies? She's like, yeah, I got plenty of them. She's like, now it's time to blow up the kingdom. And I'm like, okay, this escalated quickly. So she ends up taking the princess and Tachi to standing in front of this major, like this big door. And she's like, wait, why are we in front of the weapons depot? And the maid tells the princess, well, no, now it's time for, since the rebellion kind of ended the way that it did, it's time for our last resort. We now have to blow up the kingdom. And the prince is like, wait, what? Like, one failed attempt at something, and now you've gone to like last resort. She's like, no, like this is just a stupid plan. Like, if it fails like this, and you have no backup. It was just a stupid plan to begin with. So then she basically manipulates the two of them through her own magic to basically kind of make them a little bit more unconscious and at her own will. And she just puts their hand on it to open the door. So it's revealed that you have to have two of the royal family to open the door. And she makes reference that all of the royal family share the same marking of the goddess because they were all created by the goddess. So because Tachi was also created, she counts as technically one of the royals.
And then to unleash the kingdom's ultimate defense. And then like there's like evil laughter that I laughed so hard when I heard that because like oh that's
So
just
did I.
literally I was
So did
laughing so
I.
hard like from Shibaneta. It was
Yep.
great. So Tachi is like now controlling the robot and is walking it towards the kingdom. And I love how they're admiring how cute the robot is. Like, oh look how cute it is. Like it's just like waddling around. There's like this big bulky robot though, and it's like so it was cute. I would say like the robot did look like a little bit cute. But it fires a beam clearly capable of destroying the entire kingdom, which is exactly the opposite of what the princess wanted this whole time. Like the princess, is like, oh, I don't want like anyone to really die. I just want to like take over like the kingdom. Like I just want to show that like I am strong enough to do like something, right? Like
Yeah.
she was just trying to
Yeah.
prove to her father, the king, that she is able to do something. So yeah, now Swart's sword is able to cut the beam that is being fired by the robot. And it's revealed that Biddy is the one actually kind of controlling the robot. But Tachi's body is like inside like
As a
that.
battery.
Yeah, like yeah, exactly so. And then this is where like Tachi like really starts like raging from suppressed feelings of for Jin, right? And all the while like Jin is working with Schwartz and like yeah, my power is not really like here right now because I'm not next to Tachi, right? And then Jin I'm sorry, Jin uses the door so they so oh my gosh, lost my train of thought here. So Jin and Schwartz go and make their way to get closer to the robot,
Yeah.
right? And this is where Tachi is like going, like still like losing her mind about like the suppressed feelings for Jin and stuff like that. And is like ranting about how Jin always has everything, and Jin like never praises me and stuff like that, and like fires a beam at Jin, and then Jin uses the door to defend against the blast, which I thought was like hilarious, right?
Because Japanese doors are extremely durable and strong, so he explains it. Like ridiculousness.
Mhm. So yeah, Tachi here confesses to wanting praise from Jin as he throws a punch, and that's kind of where this whole episode ends. I don't know if you want to like talk more about what happened in this episode, but it was just kind of a little
No,
bit fast of
there
how I
wasn't.
explained everything.
There
But
wasn't
yeah,
much. Yeah, there
hmm
wasn't much. He basically explains like to Schwartz like I don't have any power because we're too far away. So as he gets closer, he realizes his powers, even though he's right next to the robot, he still doesn't have any, which means that the connection was severed from Tachibana's side. And then that's when Tachibana's like you said, goes berserk and starts like hammering his fists around and like really trying to like, no, I'm gonna fight you now because you've really made me mad about this. And like you said, that's when the ending comes through, and it comes through to starts with episode 12.
yeah, here Jin, it's revealed that Jin is like, I've never praised anyone before in my life. And it's like, it's not that I don't want to praise you, it's I don't know how because I've never done this before. And Jin realized
Yeah,
that he realized like maybe I am like an awful friend for not realizing like something that you needed and I couldn't like provide it, right?
yeah,
Not
yeah,
taking like I have problem taking into account at how others are feeling. And so yeah, this is and like he said, like I said, he has trouble for he's unable to notice like what other people are wanting because I just go and do my work and just do everything that I know I have to do. Like I don't really pay attention to what others want.
yeah.
And Jin is embarrassed about Jin is also embarrassed about being jealous because Tachi's always the kind of guy who always has like he's always smiling and always surrounded by people who actually care for him where Jin kind of believes like the only reason why people praise him is
It's
because like
shallow.
he's just a hard worker. Yeah,
Well,
exactly.
it's shallow. It's
hmm
either you're a pretty face and you're nothing more, right? So,
Exactly.
and it's like going through everything. Like in his head, he's thinking like, okay, do they actually like me, or is it just because of who I am and what I've done, right? Like just because I'm good looking, just because I'm a hard worker, like you said, is that the reason they like me, or do they like me for me?
Yeah,
Where,
it's
like he
not like
says,
the
when it,
real connection, like
yeah,
exactly so. It's like they only like me for my accomplishments and like they don't even know me as a person. But Jin feels like Tachi has people around him because those people actually admire Tachi for being Tachi and like they
well, and he
understand
says like,
who he is as a person.
and he says like, anytime he's pulled me in, I've gotten that sense of happiness and smiling from
hmm
like a general connection he was having as he's like pulling me in to like play soccer, play games with him, right? Um, so while he's saying this, the maid is behind Tachi and trying to like continuously manipulate
hmm
Tachi more. Like, oh, he's lying. He's super intelligent. You have to remember that. He's clearly lying. And then Tachi's getting mad now and just like grabs like this like almost like a thread, like a red threading, and just starts yanking it out from the back of her head, and ends up pulling it, and then that's when the robot kind of like stops immediately and kind of like almost like putting an end to it.
Yeah, because Tachi really snaps and outright admits now of being jealous of Jin, and that's what
Yeah,
kind of breaks the curse here, admitting his admiration. So Swartz and Jin battle the robots as it now goes completely berserk and it's just like firing all shots and stuff like that. And this was hilarious when Jin breaks in to save Tachi, and now Jin just
yeah.
pours his heart out to Tachi. I just put here it's over the top and ridiculous and went on for like 4 minutes long. It
Oh
was
yeah, yeah.
so I'm like, oh my god, what are you saying? It just did the most it just kept going on and on and on and on. It was hilarious. I absolutely like I haven't I was laughing out loud from episode one through like
Oh
episode
yeah, yeah.
12 of this anime. This anime was so funny and I forgot how funny this anime was. Like if we ever do like a top five like
Funniest
comedy like
anime.
anime or
Yeah,
something like that, this is definitely going to be on my list because this one is so funny. I forgot how hilarious this actually was.
Yeah, this would probably make my top five too. It would be close, but it would probably make mine as well. I don't got much notes on past this, so
Okay,
it's kind
I'll
of on
finish
you.
off then. Yeah, sorry. So yeah, they have like a nice goodbye at the kingdom. And they're like talking to Schwartz and the like so Schwartz's master is the girl who was teaching him, like who was working with them like earlier at the other place at the other town. Um,
The
and
investigator.
the investigator, yeah. So
Yeah,
they make their way to the Demon King Castle, which Schwartz is like, oh yeah, that's that white sword in the mountains. Like we've been seeing it like kind of in the distance, like throughout the entire anime. And I thought it was hilarious when the Jin and Tachi look into each other's eyes, right, as Jin finishes getting dressed and Tachi like
yeah,
blushes and like so this time throughout the anime Jin was getting charmed, but this time Tachi gets the charm thing. And they're like, wait, what the heck? I didn't know I could get it too. And then Tachi's like, wait, no, it's not what you think it is. And it's really hilarious because the anime like ends with Jin and Tachi, Schwartz and his master traveling on their own path, and they're both making their
yeah,
own like separate paths up to the Demon King's castle. And it's funny because they're like, we can't look into each other's eyes because if we do, we're afraid if we both get charmed at the same time, we're gonna get married. So that's kind of how the anime ended, and it was just again like the we got isekai. Like I know he's a guy, but like I have to um like make sure I don't actually fall in love with him. So, even though like he looks like really cute right now. So I don't know. There was just a lot of things. The animation was just very good. It was just really solid animation.
yeah,
I liked a lot of the character designs in this anime, especially Tachi's like female form. The elf girl was hilarious. Just real quick, the opening song was Akatsuki no Sarai, Saraiman, and then the ending song was Fa Ntase To, which is actually how it's like, it's there's a space between Fa and then Ntase, so it's basically the word fantasy to. And so the opening song was good. I was not a big fan of the ending song, so for me, yeah, I don't. What are your like thoughts, I guess, on the anime? And then if you want to give a score, I will give you my score real quick. It didn't end, because it ends with them like still making their way to the Demon King
yeah.
Castle. So I kind of always, I don't like when animes don't actually end. So
Like wrap it up. Yeah,
yeah, if you're looking for something to just laugh at, this is definitely the anime for just like, you know, hilarious jokes, hilarious sequences.
yeah,
There was like no real fan service, nothing was super over the top, right? There was like there was more like playful fan service, if that makes
yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah,
Um where it just helped the plot get more ridiculous at times, where instead of it wasn't like forced. Um so that I thought was a good thing. I love the way that Jin and Tachi, I love their interactions, and I actually really enjoyed their character growth, and I really felt like their friendship growth throughout the course. Like they had their ups and downs, and they had, things that like, you're not going to be great with like everyday like friendship, right? Like there's always good days and bad days, but they worked
yeah,
through all of it to kind of really find that like happy medium at the end. Like, yeah, we are still really great friends, and that's that's what matters. So I really like that aspect of it too. So for me, I have this at just an 8.0. I almost liked it better than the last one we did, which was, did I say, to make my abilities average in the next life? I
yeah.
put that one at 8.1, and this one I put at 8.0. Uh, they were just like right there, neck and neck for me. But
Yeah,
yeah, that's what
yeah,
I have. That's what I have this one. I just gave it a B grade. So
yeah. For me, I love the character designs. The character designs are great. I love everything about Tachi except the teeth. I hate the shark
mm,
fangs.
Yeah,
That
I don't
really
like. I
bugged
did
me.
not like. I forgot about that. The thing is, I didn't
Yeah.
notice it too badly. But yeah, it was there. I do know what you
Oh,
mean.
I
When they
noticed it quite a
really,
bit. I really hated it.
yeah. Okay, I
I
understand
like
that.
the
I'm not a
elf.
big
I
fan of
like
that
the
either.
elf. I like the elf. I liked a lot of the other ones. The Even the investigator, like everything was really well done. I liked a lot of the background art. So like a lot of the scenery was really well. Yeah, a lot of it was really well done. It was hilarious. I really laughed. I really enjoyed this one quite a bit. I am just slightly under where you are. I have it myself at about a 7.9.
Oh yeah,
So,
so like right there. I understand too.
yeah,
I was struggling with like, do I give this more? Do I give it 8? Do I give it 7.9? I was like really close, but
same.
I
It's the same
with
for
how
me. And
many
like I
times
said,
I laughed at it, I was like, okay, I'll give it 8 just because it was
yeah.
really entertaining.
Once it got to the ending, like it was, and then once it got to the ending of that, I was like, no. I was like, okay, no, I'm at a 7.9. I kept it right where I had it a little bit lower at first, but then it kind of grew and it got a lot more funnier as it kind of went on. Because I initially had about a 7.7, 7.8, and then it just kind of like as it carried on, I was like, okay, no, this is probably closer to a 7.9. I was gonna go 8. I was close to it, but then like when it hit the ending, I was like, no, 7.9. I'm gonna stick with my original. So yeah, and that's where I kind of left it off.
We'll probably never get to season 2 of this, which is
I
unfortunate
know
because again, like it didn't end, and I really dislike when
when they
animes
don't
just
end.
don't end, and there's a lot of
Yeah,
like one season isekais that just I feel like deserve another one. And I feel like if this one got a second season, I would definitely be on board with it for sure.
yeah.
So, but yeah, it was a very solid anime. I could see me maybe like watching this one again at some point, just to like laugh if I'm like need to have
Yeah.
like a good laugh. And the one thing I also don't particularly like with animes like this is between episode 1 and like episode like 9, maybe even 10, you don't really need to watch all of them. You
No,
could almost like
no.
jump from episode 2 to
There's
episode
not really a whole lot
6.
of story progression. Like
There's
there
not
really
too
isn't
much
like a
connection.
continuation. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so yeah, that's another thing that maybe I didn't
Yeah.
particularly like. Hmm. But yeah, so I thought it was, like I said, it was good. It was hilarious, very
Yeah.
entertaining. Just this is one of those ones like don't go into it trying to take it seriously because you will be very disappointed if you try to take it seriously. But
Yeah. No, exactly.
uh, yeah, if you don't have anything else to say, I guess we can close out the episode here. So do you want
Yep.
to wrap us up?
I will. Yeah, so again, thanks everyone for the support. Like I said, we've launched some new stuff on our socials. So again, go check us out. We're on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, and Instagram. A lot more of the newer content we're doing is on just the three: YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Again, we appreciate all the support. Like, share, comment. We really want to hear your guys' feedback. We really want to hear your guys' opinions. So please just engage, write stuff, really go through a lot of that stuff. But yeah, I think that's it for today's episode. Maple out.
Matane!